Welcome to English Podcasts. Relax and enjoy your listening practice.
I used to think of sunburn as one of those temporary summer problems. Your skin turns red, it hurts for a few days, maybe it starts peeling, and then life moves on. I remember treating it almost like an uncomfortable price you sometimes paid for a long day near the water. But the more I learned about what actually happens inside the skin, the less temporary it started to feel. A large analysis published recently looked at 17 studies involving more than 321,000 people. Researchers were interested in a common type of skin cancer called cutaneous squamous cell carcinoma, and they compared the risk with people's history of painful, blistering, or severe sunburns. What they found was quite clear. People who had experienced these serious burns had higher odds of developing this cancer later in life. Those with frequent severe burns had an even greater risk, and frequent severe sunburns during childhood were linked with especially high odds. That does not mean one bad afternoon in the sun guarantees cancer. Cancer risk is much more complicated than that, and genetics, skin type, age, and total UV exposure all matter. The research also has limitations because people have to remember sunburns that may have happened decades earlier. Still, there is an important message here. A sunburn is not simply heat on the surface of your body. Ultraviolet radiation can damage DNA inside skin cells. Our bodies are very good at repairing damage, but the repair process is not perfect. Small mistakes can remain, and over a lifetime, more damage can accumulate. Eventually, some of those changes may contribute to cancer. That was the part that changed my perspective. The visible redness is actually a little misleading. We naturally think the problem is finished when the pain disappears, because that is what we can see and feel. But our skin has a much longer memory than we do. And this matters especially with children. They spend hours outside, they forget sunscreen, they jump into water and wash it off, and often they do not realize they are burning until the damage has already happened. Some people are more susceptible to burning, but darker skin does not mean complete protection from skin cancer either. For me, prevention now feels less like being overly cautious and more like something ordinary. Finding shade when the sun is intense, wearing a hat or protective clothing, using broad-spectrum sunscreen, and remembering to reapply it after swimming or heavy sweating. We cannot remove the UV exposure that already happened years ago, but perhaps the useful thing about understanding these consequences is realizing that the next sunburn is not inevitable, and protecting our skin today may matter much longer than the summer afternoon itself.